afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining Lewis University's television network. Today is Thursday, April 13th, 2023. I'm Hannah Gasick.
And I'm Samara Martinez, and we begin with our top national and international stories.
Police have made an arrest in the murder of Cash App founder Bob Lee, according to a tweet from San Francisco Board of Supervisors member Matt Dorsey. In the post, Dorsey said a suspect was arrested this morning. He thanked police and specifically the department's homicide detail for their tireless efforts. According to a local news report, authorities apprehended the suspect in the Bay Area city of Emeryville. The San Francisco police and the mayor's office still need to comment.
After months of speculation, we now know that Prince Harry will attend the coronation of his father, King Charles III. Buckingham Palace announced Wednesday that the Duke of Sussex will be attending the event alone, and that his wife, Meghan Markle, will stay back in California with the couple's two small children, Archie and Lilibet. The couple has reportedly been at odds with much of the royal family after the release of Prince Harry's bombshell book, Spare.
Twitter CEO Elon Musk told BBC in a rare interview Tuesday he's laid off more than 6,000 people at the company since taking it over. Musk was quoted as saying Twitter now has only 1,500 employees. He said that's down from under 8,000 at the time of his acquisition. The reduction equates to roughly 80% of Twitter's staff. Musk said drastic action was needed when he came on board. He claimed the company was facing a $3 billion negative cash flow situation. The billionaire CEO estimated that he only gave Twitter 4 months to live. Musk purchased Twitter for $44 billion last October.
President Joe Biden spoke in Northern Ireland Wednesday to mark the Good Friday Agreement anniversary. He said his goal in Belfast was to ensure the U.S. brokered accord remained in place. The Good Friday Agreement was signed 25 years ago. It called for power-sharing government between those who wanted to remain part of the United Kingdom and those who favored a united Ireland. Instead of speaking at the Parliament building, Biden spoke at the new university campus downtown. It was a symbolic choice to talk to the future of the region, as he remarked on the region's bloody past during his speech. Biden hailed the tremendous progress since the agreement, while underscoring America's readiness to preserve those gains and support Northern Ireland's economic potential.
Attorney General Merrick Garland says a member of the Massachusetts Air National Guard is in custody in connection with recently leaked classified documents. This aerial video appears to show law enforcement arresting Jack Teixeira Thursday. A Facebook page for the Guard's 102nd Intelligence Wing identifies the 21-year-old as an airman first class. The arrest comes after a trove of documents showed up on a social media platform called Discord, which is popular with gamers. The New York Times reports Teixeira leads a group of about 24 members, and the sources familiar with the matter say investigators are building a criminal case against Teixeira.
Up next, we will have our Lewis Spotlight with reporter Daisy Padilla.
We'll be right back.
If I could go back and change it all. I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Hello, welcome back to today's Lewis Spotlight. I am with Dr. Emily Norman, the Department Chair of Communications and a professor here at Lewis University. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
Alrighty, so let's start with some questions. How long have you been here at Lewis University?
I've been at Lewis since 2014, so
Oh,
it's
okay.
coming up on a decade,
Okay.
almost 10 years.
So you're 10 years here. That's very exciting.
It is.
And I know you are the department chair and you're also a professor here. What is like your favorite class to teach here at Lewis?
Yeah, in addition to being the chair, I'm the program director for the organizational communication major. And so I teach classes revolving around skills with being effective in our communication with other people in our relationships. So I would say currently I would be really happy to be teaching the classes I'm teaching right now, which include interpersonal communication,
Yes.
which you're aware of.
That one's a good class.
Yeah, this is where we talk about how to have healthy relationships in whether that's personal or professional. And I also really love teaching intercultural communication
yes, I like
because we have an opportunity to talk about communication in different cultural contexts. And we work with students in South Africa actually on a project in this class.
Yeah, I know. I'm in both of those classes and I enjoy them. I could vouch for that. Those are really interesting classes. So next semester you're taking a sabbatical. What are your plans during this time in your sabbatical?
Yeah, so faculty can apply for sabbatical in a different semester, and I was awarded one for fall of 2023. And really it's a time for faculty to focus on their scholarship. So I have a research project that I'm working on surrounding assessment in our basic course, Introduction to Human Communication.
Okay.
I've collected data since about 2015.
Okay.
I've also collected some data on our speech and presentation lab.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm looking to bring all of that together and analyze it so I can work on improving the course and make the lab a more effective resource on campus.
So as we're talking about you bringing this back to enhance the communication department, what changes and growth do you see in the communications department for the future?
Well, I think the biggest thing is to realize we have a lot of opportunities for students in the department. We have 4 different major programs, including digital media and journalism, organizational communication, as I mentioned, public relations and advertising, and radio and TV broadcasting. So in addition to having all of these curricular opportunities in the classroom, students can get involved in co-curricular opportunities, including LUTN, the television network.
Yes.
And we have WLRA, which is our radio program. And we have Lewis Flyer, which is our printed and online newspaper. So these are all campus media opportunities that students can be involved in, that are student-led, and they can build a lot of skills in these areas. So we continue to want to grow these programs so that students can get these kinds of opportunities.
Yeah, what is something that you would like to tell incoming students about the community? Like, I know you went over a lot, but just about the communications department and overall type of thing.
Yeah, I'd love to let everybody know that you don't have to necessarily be a major in communication to be a part of our student media opportunities. Everybody's welcome, but those who are being a part of this are getting really wonderful skills that they can take into any kind of employment context. So leadership, time management, conflict management, teamwork, you know, all of this kind of stuff they're learning, and you can start as early as your freshman year and get involved.
Yeah. What can you do with a communications degree?
So there's lots of opportunities. What's really cool about Lewis is how close we are to Chicago, and that is the 3rd largest market in the United States. So there's lots of opportunities for internships and to get connected to organizations that communication majors would really thrive in. Everybody out there is asking for students who have employees, I guess, who have good written and oral communication skills, leadership skills, conflict management skills, problem solving skills. So these are the kinds of things they're learning in our courses and in our co-curricular.
Yeah, and I think something that is coming up is communications is so like underplayed, but there's actually communication jobs, like it literally says, and this is something that people don't really know unless they're in the department.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
there's lots of opportunities out there.
And yeah, this is good that we're sharing it with everybody. And then can you tell us like an overview like of COFAC?
Yeah, so the Department of Communications is a part of the College of Humanities, Fine Arts, and Communications. There's lots of different programs and departments within this area at Lewis. I think something I really would love to highlight about COFAC and the programs that it's a part of is that we really thrive on experiential learning. In all of the different programs within COFAC, students get this opportunity to be hands-on, to have these really cool experiences where they can put some of the theory and the skills that they're learning into practice.
Okay, and then back to your sabbatical, because you have done other research outside of this, and it's going to be also playing a part in the sabbatical?
Yeah, I chose the project that I did simply based on the fact that I have an emphasis in research with instructional communication. So since my days in grad school, I've been interested in the best practices to teach the communication discipline. And so assessment is a big part of that, is making sure that we're doing what we say we're doing in the classroom, and that students can benefit from the courses that they're taking, and that instruction is top notch.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Emily. We really appreciate having you here today. And up next, we're going to have your local news. Stay with us.
A 15-year-old female was shot in the back of the head on the early hours of Easter on the 1600 block of South Sangamon cul-de-sac. High school student Demia Morris, described as ambitious and witty, was killed while being out with her siblings on Easter. Morris was transported to the University of Chicago's Medical Center in critical condition and later pronounced dead.
A suburban man has been charged in connection to a break-in Tuesday at Michael Jordan's mansion. 18-year-old Raiden Hagedorn of Mundelein faces 3 charges after officers arrived at Jordan's mansion located in Highland Park. On the report of the break-in, Hagedorn was charged with misdemeanors of criminal damage to property under $500, criminal damage to property, and criminal trespass to a residence. He was taken into custody and released on a recognizance bond.
Chicago has outbid Atlanta, New York, and Houston to host the 2024 Democratic National Convention. The last time Chicago hosted the National Convention was in 1996 at the United Center. This event will be held August 19th through 26th at the McCormick Place. President Biden is very grateful that Mayor Lightfoot was dedicated to make Chicago the city for this convention. 29 highly rated Chinese restaurants located in Chicago have been featured in a newly compiled list published by Stacker. The list covers top-rated Chicago Chinese restaurants found on TripAdvisor and features ratings based on service, food, value, and atmosphere. Restaurants such as Potsticker House, Sunhwa Barbecue, and Ming Hin Cuisine are some of the many establishments featured on the detailed list. 32-year-old Rick Perez was standing in the Ross Dress for Less parking lot on the 7600 block of South Cicero Avenue Monday night when he was hit in the head by gunfire. Perez was transported to Advocate Christ Medical Center in critical condition. No one is in custody, and police are asking for anyone with information to visit cdptip.com.
When we return, we will have our entertainment news.
And later, we will have your weather and sports update.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
We're getting our first look at what was once the lifetime home of Betty White. It was recently demolished. The iconic Golden Girls actress bought the Bentwood, California home in 1968 with her TV personality husband, Alan Ludden. Aerial footage now shows a pile of dirt where the 5-bedroom house once stood. It reportedly sold for nearly $10.7 million last June, and it was listed as a teardown, meaning that the new owners could destroy the property to build a new one. White died in December of 2021, just weeks shy of her 100th birthday.
Streaming giant Netflix has ordered an animated spin-off of the hit series Stranger Things. The upcoming animated series doesn't have a title yet. Brothers Matt and Ross Duffer, the creative minds behind Stranger Things, are executive producing the new show. Netflix says the animated series will be in the vein of Saturday morning cartoons.
Could actress Billy Brown be engaged? Her fans certainly think so. The 19-year-old Stranger Things star posted a photo on social media embracing her partner, Brake Bon Jovi, with a rather large ring on her engagement finger. Brown captioned the image, "I've loved you 3 summers now, honey, I want 'em all." Around the same time, Bon Jovi also shared an image on his social accounts where the couple is looking out to sea, captioned forever. 20-year-old Bon Jovi is the son of rocker John Bon Jovi. No comment yet from the Browns team on the possible engagement.
Veteran character actor Michael Lerner has died. His nephew posted on Facebook that Lerner died on Saturday. No cause of death was given. The 81-year-old starred in movies and on television. His career dates back to the 1960s on shows such as MASH and The Bob Newhart Show. But he may best be remembered as an overbearing studio head in the 1991 film Barton Fink. He received an Oscar nomination for his performance.
Superstar Taylor Swift and her longtime boyfriend actor Joe Alwyn are calling it quits. A source close to Taylor confirmed the news to CNN, saying, quote, "Taylor and Joe broke up a few weeks ago. They simply grew apart and plan to remain friends." Swift and Alwyn were first linked romantically in 2016. Swift says during their relationship, they have dodged strange rumors and tabloid stories. Alwyn has appeared as a guest on several of Swift tracks, including playing piano on the Grammy-winning album Folklore. Up next, we will have your weather forecast.
And then we will have your Lewis Sports Update. Stay with us.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
And now for our 5-day forecast. So today has been quite beautiful. We're finally starting to see some signs of summer. We've had a high of 73 with a little bit of clouds in the sky and a low of 56 tonight. Going into Friday, we will continue to see the same weather with a high of 73, although a little bit more clouds, and a low of 55. Going into the weekend on Saturday, we are having bright, sunny days again with a little bit of clouds, although a little cooler with a high of 70 and a low of 53. Unfortunately, going into Sunday and Monday, we will be seeing some rain with a high of 60 degrees on Sunday and a low of 45, and also a high of 60 degrees on Monday with a low of 45. And stay tuned for the sports.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
The Lewis softball team swept Missouri St. Louis at Lewis softball field on Saturday. Game 1 opened with Carrie Anderson starting the scoring in the bottom of the second with an RBI triple, which then scored Sarah Serena. Lewis brought out the power in the third inning after Kristen Graham hit a 2-run home run, scoring Gabby Niles. The second game featured Jalen Powell starting the scoring after an RBI double to right, which scored Garden to make it 1-0 in the first. Serena connected on her second home run of the day later that inning, which made it 3-0. The Flyers won the first game 7-1 and won the second game 4-2.
Lewis men's lacrosse team suffered a setback to Kansas City Rockhurst Hawks last Saturday. Kevin Blands started the scoring in the first 3 minutes of the contest after finding the back of the net. At the end of the first, Lewis tied Rockhurst 1-1, and the second quarter slipped away from Lewis. The Hawks were able to capitalize to tie the game 3-4. The third quarter was close as Lewis caught up 4-4, but ultimately the game was closed by the Hawks, finishing Lewis 8-13. Lewis will be back in action this Saturday, April 15th, as the Flyers host Quincy at the Lewis Stadium starting at 1 p.m.
Lewis University women's tennis team fell to the current Great Lakes Valley Conference leader, University of Indianapolis, this past Saturday. Flyers struggled in doubles, with final scores being 6-2 and 6-3. Lewis tried to push through with close games in singles, with Anastasia Selenko winning 12-6. Ultimately, GLVC leader Indianapolis was able to close the day with a 6-1 victory. Lewis will be back in action Friday, April 14th, as the Flyers travel to St. Louis to take on Maryville starting at 2 p.m.
Lewis men's volleyball ended the regular season on a great win over Quincy. Lewis started the first set with a loss, 25-19. Lewis fought and came up short after they lost their 5-point lead. In the second set, Lewis began with a 7-3 lead. They held Quincy as best as they could. Set was tied at 23-23, Max Rocket with a phenomenal kill to win the set. Third set was a win from the Flyers. Flyers had a .385 hitting percentage to Quincy's .182 percentage. The fourth set began with some good old-fashioned volleyball. Lewis was maintained a 4-point lead and was able to take the win. Lewis will host Purdue Fort Wayne in the MIVA tournament quarterfinals on April 15th. Details to be announced later.
The men's baseball team swept the Cardinals on Saturday at Brennan Field. The Cardinals took the lead, scoring in the top of the third inning with a solo home run, but Lewis was able to come back with the help of George Bilecki in the bottom of the third with a home run for the team to gain a 4-1 lead. Lewis bet the Cardinals with an ending score of 6-5. Lewis continues its homestand with 4 games against Rockhurst beginning Friday at 2 p.m.
And that's it for today's news. Thank you for watching. As a reminder, you can keep up with Lewis University Television Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and by visiting our YouTube channel. I am Samara Martinez.
And I'm Hannah Gasick. Have a great night.